Hello everyone, and welcome to GIR Golf LLC. Thank you for tuning into the channel, and thank you for tuning into this second video installment of this series entitled 11 Golf Shot Shapes and Cures. If you haven't checked out that first video of the series, go and watch that before watching this one. It's going to be a lot of fun for you. Learn some different golf shot shapes that we see out there, what causes them. And in today's video, as we work on getting command and control of our golf ball, and work on our biggest misses out there on the golf course, whether you miss the ball to the right or miss the ball to the left with your big miss and narrowing our dispersion, we have to talk about two very important fundamentals. The first fundamental we're going to talk about today in this video is our grip, or how we hold the golf club. And the second fundamental that we're going to discuss is our alignment. These are two very important fundamentals that are essential to hitting good quality golf shots, ones that our dispersion is tight. As we talk about the grip, or how we hold the golf club, it is so important to understand that this fundamental is so vital on what the club face does at impact. If you remember from our introductory video to this series, when we showed those 11 different golf shot shapes, there were two factors that influenced what the golf ball did. These two factors that give instructions to that golf ball that sits there from us are our club face angle at impact and our swing path. So if you remember from our first video, our swing path is the path the golf club travels at impact. Either straight, that was one swing path. The second one was in to out. And the third one was out to in. Okay? And then the second factor that we discussed in that video was the face angle at impact. We could have a square or straight face angle at impact. We could have a open or one that points to the right face angle at impact. And we can have a closed or one that points to the left face angle at impact. And the grip influences what our face angle does at impact very much so. And that's why it's so important to understand the fundamentals and what you need to do for a grip and check it periodically. Perhaps every time you go out on the range, I think it's a good thing to check your grip, and maybe even have somebody you trust look at your grip. That's how important the grip is, because we got to have control of our club face at impact if we want to narrow our dispersion and get command of our golf ball to where our miss still hits the green. That would be awesome. If we can hit more greens in regulation, our scores are going to go way down. So having a good grip is going to help you do all those things. So before we get on to talking about our big misses to the right and to the left and how to fix them, we got to make sure we have a good grip. So let's get into it. I'm going to lay my magnet off to the side. It's a handy little tool there. So I am right-handed. Now if you're left-handed, just reverse the handing and the fingerings accordingly. For a neutral grip, there's a lot of grips out there. I'm going to teach you a neutral grip, a standard stock grip that is going to help you have the greatest chance to have a square club face at impact. That's what a neutral grip does. A good neutral grip, first of all, if you notice I have a glove on my left hand. That's because in golf, the left hand for us right-handed players is the lead hand. Much to the contrary of other sports where our right hand, which most of you, if you're a right-handed golfer, you're going to be right-hand dominant. In the golf swing, our left hand is designed to lead the way. And where we get in a lot of trouble and we have a lot of these big misses is our right hand and our right arm get a little too involved. Yes, there is power in this right hand, but it has to be applied at the right time. So to put our left hand on the golf club, which is the one you would put on first of all, make sure your club face is square to where you're going. Just let your hands hang down here. Go ahead as you get in your posture, bend your knees, okay, lean forward at your hips. Put your left hand on here, and the left hand is a finger grip, meaning the golf club grip goes in your fingers, and then the hand rolls over. I want to show you two very important things. Number one, as you put the golf club in your hands, I want you to really pay attention. I'm going to move up to the camera because this is so important. It's going to help so many of you out there. If you notice right here, this area right here is my heel pad, okay? If you notice, the golf club is below that. My heel pad is on top of the shaft. It is not in the middle of my hand. It's not in my palm like this. The golf shaft, when I put my left hand on here properly, my heel pad of my left hand is on top of the golf shaft. That allows me to have proper wrist set and create great things that I'm sure many of you are familiar with in lag. It helps me set this angle with my wrist. If I put the club in the palm of my hand like this, now the club becomes very heavy and it feels awkward. And if you notice, I cannot set my wrist properly. I cannot get any lag. I can't get that extra power that we're all after in the golf swing. This will, if you're not doing this already, this will change your game. I'm telling you, big time. This is a big time tip. Put that club in your fingers like that. Make sure that your heel pad is on top of the shaft, okay? As you do that, the heel pad's on top of the shaft. Your left thumb should not be down the center of the shaft, but it should be ever so slightly to the right center of the shaft. So the left thumb goes on the right center of the shaft, okay? This allows this V that is formed between your thumb and your index finger to point over here to your right shoulder. That's a good checkpoint. Make sure this V points over here. In order to do that, you have to get that thumb over here on the right center of the shaft. That's another great tip. Second checkpoint is when I look down, I should see two knuckles. I should see my index finger knuckle and my middle finger knuckle, and that's a perfect position for a neutral left-hand grip. If I see more knuckles than that, then it's too strong. If I only see one, it's too weak. A good neutral grip, you can see two knuckles there. This V will point to my right shoulder, and that golf shaft is underneath the heel pad of my hand. Now let's put the right hand on the golf club. The right hand is just on for the ride. Just as we discussed, our left hand is our lead hand in the golf swing. The right hand goes on, simply goes over, and then you got to make a decision whether you want to interlock or overlap. These are the two grips that have been proven for decades, and many decades I will add, to give you the best chance for the most consistent golf. These are two grips that I teach. I like to interlock, but you may like to overlap, and that's a personal preference, but one of those two will set you up for a great consistent golf. It's been proven for many decades. So I like to interlock, so I go ahead and take my right pinky and let it interlock with my left index finger. I put the grip in my hands, and then I roll my hand over just like that. You'll notice that my left thumb fits very nicely in the cup of my right hand, in the palm. Just kind of fits there naturally. And then I take my right thumb and I put it on the left center of the shaft. I don't want it right down the middle. I want it just ever so slightly down the left center of the shaft. So it's opposite of my left hand. The left thumb goes on the right center of the shaft. The right thumb goes on the left center of the shaft. Very good tip. And you'll notice I form a V right here. This V should point somewhere over here to my right ear. Not quite over here to my right shoulder, but my right ear. That is a good checkpoint for a good neutral grip. So I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to show you the difference between an interlocking and overlapping grip. You can see right there, I interlock. Okay, if you like to overlap, you simply put your finger over that joint right there, and that's how you tie your hands together. So one or two of those grips is what I teach, what I've seen over the decades of golf and studying golf, and what great players do. They either interlock or they overlap. So let's take as many variables as we can and have a good grip. You'll also notice, as I go ahead and put my grip back on here, notice that space I have right there with my index finger of my right hand and my middle finger. I put a little space there. I've found that that just allows me to have a little more finesse. Okay, it's perfectly fine for you to have those fingers together like that. Okay, I just do that little bit of space there. I found it gives me a little bit more feel. So that's how you do a proper neutral grip. Let's move on to alignment. The second fundamental we're going to talk about is our alignment, or how our body is aligned in relationship to our target. I've got a couple alignment rods here and a golf ball down, and this is setting me up a little road that leads to my target. And my target is that orange pole in the distance. In order to hit good quality golf shots, ones that have minimal dispersion, we got to have good alignment, meaning our feet need to be parallel. Our toes should be parallel to those lines. Our knees should be parallel. Our hips should be parallel. And our shoulders should be parallel to those lines to set us up to hit a good golf shot, one that doesn't go too far right or left. We got to have great alignment, because much like we talked about the grip and how it influences the face angled impact, our alignment drastically influences whether we have an in to out swing path, an out to in swing path, or a straight swing path. You know, that's the other factor that gives the golf ball instructions to hit different shots. So, for example, if I take this alignment rod and I aim out this way with my body, okay, that's going to promote an in to out swing path, okay, and that's going to produce different types of shots. Okay, if my target is over there, that may be not what I want to do. If my alignment is like this and it's aimed over this way, that's going to promote an out to in swing path, and that may or may not be the kind of shot I want to hit. If I want to hit a shot that has narrow dispersion, I need to make sure that these parts are parallel: my toes, my knees, my hips, and my shoulders. Okay? The only way that you get good with your alignment is practice, and practice with a purpose. Every time you go out and hit a bucket of balls in a driving range, put an alignment rod down. Go get you a Divot feedback template and a can of Dr. Scholl's Odor X foot powder spray. Put that template on the ground, use it to align your target, because in golf we stand up here sideways. We don't have the luxury of being directly back where the camera is right now to aim. Unfortunately, we got to train our eyes. And the only way we get better at it is we practice with these devices. Put alignment rods down, put a club down, do something so you're not just out there hitting balls, okay? Because you might be aimed over here to the right and wonder why your golf ball in the range is ending up way over there. That's why we got to talk about these fundamentals. You know, we've all played golf with our buddies, and we watch them, and we have the luxury of standing back where the camera is. We see them get up here, and we see them aimed over here to the right, and they're looking at the target. They think they're aimed at the target, and that's what they intend to do, but they're not. What is reality and what they feel are two different things. So when we get on the driving range, learn to train your eyes, learn to train your body to establish these parallel lines to where you know you're set up properly to give you the greatest chance for success. Because alignment is so key in the game of golf. Our grip is so important, and our alignment. As we finish up talking about alignment, I want to share one big tip for you guys in regards to alignment. I want you to really pay attention to what your right shoulder does as you address the golf ball, as you put your right hand on your grip. You may have a tendency as you put that right hand on, because the right hand is lower than the left, just due to simple anatomy, that distance has to be made up somehow, because we don't grab the club here with our hands together like this. This right hand is lower. Because it's lower, it tends to make our shoulder move, okay, to make up that distance. What you got to watch for in regards to alignment is, as you do that, it doesn't cause that shoulder to go in towards the ball. You notice when I do that, now my alignment ends up aiming drastically to the left. Okay, we got to make sure that our shoulders stay parallel to our target line, or our aim line. So as you address the ball, I'm seeing in my peripheral vision this shoulder is too far that way. So I simply rotate my chest back, kind of give it a little peek. Now look up my target and hit my shot. But pay attention to that right shoulder as you get that right hand on with your grip, you'll probably notice, get a mirror, have somebody video you. You'll probably notice that shoulder may be just so slightly causing you to aim to the left. That's going to help so many of you out there. Thank you so much for tuning into this channel. Hopefully you've enjoyed learning about what a good neutral grip is and also the benefits of it, learning about alignment and what it can do for you. And in the next video of this series, 11 Golf Shot Shapes and Cures, we're going to talk about those misses to the right. If you slice the ball, if you hit those pushes and those push fades and have a hard time keeping the ball in play, be sure to push that notification button and that subscribe button if you haven't already to get notified when we upload that video. And then after that one, we'll talk about, for those of you that miss the ball to the left, those hooks that you may hit, those pull draws, things that you struggle keeping the ball in play. Work on your grip and your alignment. That should help you a lot, but we'll still talk about ways to cure those big misses in the upcoming videos in this series, 11 Golf Shot Shapes and Cures. Again, thank you for watching this video. Remember to smile often, have fun. God loves you. We'll see you next time.